Good evening and welcome to our program. This series is focusing on This Is Your FBI. This Is Your FBI was a radio crime drama which aired in the United States on ABC from April 6, 1945 to January 30th, 1953 for a total of 409 shows. The show featured true cases from the FBI and was told from an FBI agent's viewpoint. FBI Chief J. Edgar Hoover gave it his endorsement, calling it our show and calling it the finest dramatic program on the air. Generally, I do not include advisories. Given Hoover's polarizing nature, I will share this. Dramatized stories created for propaganda purposes are not history. They tell one biased side of the story, and in no way am I saying that these are reliable stories. I just believe them to be interesting when viewed through the scope of entertainment and weird history. Finally, I'd like to send a specific thank you to publicdomainreview.org and archive.org for organizing and compiling all of this media. If you would like to listen to standalone media, we have included a link in the description.
The Equitable Life Assurance Society presents This Is Your FBI. This is Your FBI, the official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community. If you were born between the years 1900 and 1910, here is a question which you may have asked yourself more than once.
Will I be alive in 1975?
Well, since 1910, the proportion of oldsters in our population has gone way up. In fact, it has increased by 68%. So the chances are getting better all the time that you will be alive in 75.
And in exactly 11 minutes, we'll have a suggestion which will show you how life insurance with the Equitable Life Assurance Society can help you make the most of this long life that's ahead of you.
Tonight's FBI file, The Vicious Shakedown.
There is a widespread theory about criminals that they lack intelligence and courage. Now, that theory is wrong, and has been proven wrong so many times that there's no question about its being incorrect. Many criminals have IQs which show high intelligence, and if their brain power had been directed along legitimate lines, there's no telling how far their careers might have gone. But legitimate fields take effort to conquer, and if there is one truism about the average criminal, it is that he'll go to any ends to avoid honest work. The schemes he brings forth from his tortured brain are sometimes simple, sometimes involved. But always there is the same goal: getting something for nothing. Tonight's FBI file opens in a gymnasium and health club located in the business district of a large eastern city. In a small room in this establishment, a muscular rubber is giving a young man a massage.
Too heavy, Mr. Hanford?
No, it feels good, Tom. Up around the back of my neck a little, huh?
Sure.
Ah, swell.
Big night last night, Mr. Hanford?
Murderous.
Now, take it easy around the head.
Thanks.
Common complaint today. Everybody's got hangovers. We all out together?
Well, to tell you the truth, Tom, I don't know where I was.
Huh?
This is a new thing with me now. I have so many drinks and then I draw a blank.
Hey, that's bad.
I know, but it's all behind me, Tom. I'm on the wagon as of today.
That won't do you no harm. When you get married, Mr. Hanford?
2 weeks.
Hey, that's swell.
Yeah, kind of like it myself.
Well, that just about does it. My time's up.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. Feel fine.
Now, you just relax there a while, Mr. Hanford.
All right.
Should fall asleep. When would you like me to call you?
In an hour.
Take it easy.
Okay, Tom. Who's that?
Hello, Mr. Hanford.
Who are you?
My name is Bell. Frankie Bell.
What do you want?
Like to talk to you.
What about?
Personal matter. Mind if I sit down?
Oh, look, I'm trying to get a little sleep.
That can wait.
Huh? Say, what's this all about?
I'm a friend of Marie's.
Who's Marie?
Are you kidding?
Look, I'm asking you a question.
I suppose you don't remember last night either.
No, I don't. And I've had enough.
Hold it, mister. Last night, you and Marie got married.
What?
You heard me.
Is this a rip or something?
Think so? Take a look at it.
Huh?
Marriage license. Is that your signature?
What? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You'll also find your name on the register of the Central Hotel. You and Marie spent your honeymoon there.
Oh, no. No, none of this could have happened. Well, I don't know anybody named Marie.
You just met her last night. It was a real quick romance.
But look, I'm already engaged. I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
Mister, you're already married.
I don't believe you.
Okay. Suppose you check up on this marriage license. Take it. It's a photostat copy. Marie has the original. You can also check the register of the Central Hotel. Then you'll hear from me later.
Some more coffee, Paul?
No, thanks, Mother.
Oh, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is for us to be having breakfast together.
You mean novelty, don't you?
Well, yes. Anyway, I'm grateful.
You know something? So am I. Oh, Mother,
Yes?
did you hear me come home night before last?
Night before last?
Yeah.
Why, Paul, you didn't come home at all.
Oh.
Thought you stayed at the club.
Oh, of course. That's right. I did.
Why do you ask?
Nothing important.
Oh, goodness, I almost forgot.
What?
This special delivery letter came for you early this morning. Here you are, dear.
Thanks, Mother.
I didn't know if it were important enough to wake
Quiet,
you, but...
please.
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. Is something wrong?
No.
But, darling, there must
Excuse me,
be...
Mother. I'll see you later.
Several hours later, in the local FBI field office, Paul Hanford's mother is being greeted by Special Agent Jim Taylor.
Won't you sit down, Mrs. Hanford?
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, this is a matter concerning my son.
Yes?
He doesn't know I've come here to see you, but I just had to.
Well, what is it, Mrs. Hanford?
Paul received a special delivery letter this morning. When he read it, I could see that it upset him very much.
Yes?
I tried to question him about it. He left the breakfast table and walked out.
I see.
In his excitement, he left the letter behind. I did something, Mr. Taylor, that I've never done in my life before. I read his letter.
Well?
It was sent anonymously. It demanded that he pay $50,000 to straighten out some matter. It also said that if he didn't pay, his impending marriage would be ruined and he would suffer bodily harm.
Did you bring that letter with you, Mrs. Hanford?
Yes, I have it right here.
Yes, here, please.
Here you are.
Thank you. Has anyone else handled it other than you and your son?
No.
Fine. I want to have it analyzed for fingerprints.
Mr. Taylor, as I told you, my son doesn't know I've come here.
You did the right thing in coming. This is an extortion letter. Now, whether the basis for the threat is real or imagined, the sender has broken the law. It's our job to find him. I'd like to go over and talk to your son at once.
Frankie,
Hmm?
were you sleeping?
Yeah, I guess maybe I was.
I don't know how you do it.
What do you mean?
Sleep at a time like this.
What are you talking about?
Waiting for that guy Hanford to call. I swear to you, all afternoon I've been so nervous I've broken 2 fingernails.
No, Marie, just relax.
I can't.
It'll all come out okay.
What makes you so sure?
I spent 2 months laying this thing out. Nothing can go wrong any place along the line.
And he'll think he really married me?
The license is legitimate, ain't it?
Yeah, but you married me with that license, not him.
I work 10 hours a day practicing his signature. You'll think he signed it. Same thing with the hotel register.
And you honestly think he drew a blank that night?
Maybe that Mickey I fed him took care of that.
Oh, I still can't believe he'll call.
He's got to call. Look at the spot he's in.
With his girl, you mean?
That's right. She's a big catch for him. He can't afford to strike out there.
Frankie,
Hmm?
maybe he never got your letter this morning.
Oh, look, will you stop putting a whammy on this?
That could happen.
Marie, the post office people have been around quite a long time. They're real dependable guys to do business with.
Did you give him my number in the letter?
No, stupid. I called that health club. Left a message for him to call here.
Oh. Say, I just thought of something.
What now?
With us being already married, and then getting married again the other night, does that make us bigamous?
Nope. Just me.
Why?
Because you've got two heads.
That's cute. Oh, gee, do you think
Shut
maybe...
up. Hello?
Mr. Hanford calling you, Mr. Bell.
Put him on.
Right. Go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Hanford.
Are you the man that came to the health club?
That's right.
Well, I received your letter this morning.
Well,
I'd like to see you.
come around here.
What's your address?
Garden Apartments. 82 Maple.
What time?
6 o'clock.
Very well.
See you later, Mr. Hanford. Well, honey, what'd I tell you?
Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
After you, please.
Very well. Let me take your hat.
Shirley. Here.
That you, Mother?
Yes, Paul.
Your son?
Yes, come this way, please.
Thank you.
I'm here in the living room, Mother.
Paul, I brought home company.
Oh, really?
Darling, I want you to meet Mr. Taylor. This is my son, Paul.
How do you do?
Hello.
Paul, Mr. Taylor is a special agent of the FBI.
Oh?
I asked him to come here because I read that letter you received this morning. Oh, I had to, Paul. I saw how it upset you.
Mother, you don't have to make a Supreme Court case out of it. There's nothing too terrible about reading a letter.
Mr. Hanford, have you any idea who sent it to you?
Yes, I have.
Really, Paul?
It was that clown, Chuck Davis. You know, that boy I play squash with?
But why should he?
Mother, the whole thing was a practical joke.
What?
How do you know?
Well, Chuck's a practical joker. I suspected him immediately. I confronted him with the letter today, and he confessed all.
Oh, thank heaven.
So, I'm afraid, Mr. Taylor, you're on a wild goose chase.
Oh, goodness, that's so. I do apologize, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, that isn't necessary. I'm delighted that it turned out the way it has. Most extortion cases haven't this happy an ending.
You handle many of them, do you?
Well, enough to have worked up a very strong loathing for all those who send threatening letters.
How many do you catch?
Well, I don't want to sound immodest, but we bat pretty close to 1,000.
I see.
Well, I guess I'd better be running along.
Frankie, that must be him.
Could be. Who is it?
Paul Hanford.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Hanford.
Hello.
Come on in.
Very well.
Paul!
Huh?
Paul, baby!
Who's she?
That's Marie, your wife.
Oh,
Honey, don't you remember me?
no.
Well, that certainly isn't
Marie, Mr. Hanford came here to talk business. Let's give him a chance.
Okay.
Now, first, Mr. Hanford, did you check on the marriage license in the hotel?
Yes.
And?
It could be my signature when I've been drinking.
I've told you right along.
We're wasting time. I'll concede that I probably got drunk and married this girl. And you've apparently set a price for her calling the marriage off. Let's get right down to that.
It's a pleasure to do business with you.
How much?
You got my letter, 50 G's.
That's out of the question.
Well, what's your idea of a payoff?
Well, I have it right here with me. $2,000.
2,000. Why, you...
Quiet. Look, Mr. Hanford. 2,000 don't even get you inside the grounds.
But that's all I can raise.
Don't give me that.
I'm telling you the truth.
Look, your mother's got scratch. Your girlfriend is loaded.
Well, that has nothing to do with me.
Well, and the best I can do for you is knock 10% off for cash.
The best you can do.
That's right.
Well, how do you figure so strongly in this?
I'm an old friend of the family.
Oh. Well, then I'd advise you to take this 2,000.
Don't you do it, Frankie.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I won't.
Very well. You leave only one course of action open.
What's that?
I'm going to the FBI.
What?
On what grounds?
That was an extortion letter I received today. They'd be very happy to prosecute you for sending it.
Is that a fact?
Yes. Now, will you take the $2,000?
No.
All right, then. I'm going to turn you in.
You're not going...
Frankie, I'm glad you hit him. What a piker.
We will return in just a moment to tonight's file, which shows how your FBI helps provide security for your country. Now, let's talk about security for those who want to be independent as they grow older.
Mr. Cross, that's just a beautiful dream. By the way taxes and living costs have gone up, I don't save a cent. So when you talk about independence when I grow older, I say, what am I going to use for money?
Well, the plan I'd like to tell you about was designed to order for men in your financial position. Men who haven't got money to burn, but who do look forward to complete independence in their 60s. It's called the Equitable Life Assurance Society Independent 60s Plan.
Sounds interesting. Let's hear more about it.
The Independent 60s Plan of the Equitable Life Assurance Society has these 3 features. First, it costs considerably less than you probably think, especially if you're covered by Social Security. Second, you can create your retirement estate for the full amount the moment you sign the contract. You don't spend years wondering whether or not you're going to accumulate enough money to be independent in your 60s. You're sure of it because it's guaranteed by the Equitable Life Assurance Society. Third, this Equitable Plan gives you a definite goal and a practical method of reaching that goal. Yes, there's nothing finer than being independent in your 60s, being your own boss, doing the things you want to do.
Say, this is right up my alley. I think I'll look into this plan.
Then get in touch with an Equitable Life Assurance Society representative. He'll give you the facts on the Independent 60s Plan. Look in your phone book for the Equitable Society.
That's EQUITABLE.
Or send a postcard, care of this station, to the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. And now, back to the FBI file, The Vicious Shakedown.
People have gotten to understand almost everything in the world except other people. It would seem on the face of it that anyone with normal intelligence would realize that you cannot do business with a criminal. Yet year after year, honest citizens continue to become involved with lawbreakers. Now, there's a basic truth which every citizen should memorize. Memorize because it would save him untold agony. And that truth is that if you deal with criminals, you must get hurt. Tonight's file continues in Special Agent Jim Taylor's apartment. It is after midnight. He's just preparing for bed as...
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
This is Mrs. Hanford.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Hanford.
I'm terribly sorry to disturb you.
That's all right.
I called your office and they gave me your home number.
What's on your mind?
I'm calling about Paul.
Yes?
Terribly worried about him. He left here right after you did this afternoon. He was presumably going to drop off at the health club for a minute. Then he had a dinner date with Christine, his fiancée.
Yes, go on.
After that, he was taking us both to a concert. He hasn't kept any of these appointments.
And you haven't heard from him?
Not directly, but I called our lawyer. I learned that Paul had gone to see him this afternoon right after he left the house. He asked for $2,000. Said he needed it desperately.
I see. Did he get the money?
Yes.
Well, Mrs. Hanford, I'll come right over to your house.
Come right into the living room, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
I'm very grateful to you for coming over.
It's my job, Mrs. Hanford.
Not to cater to a nervous woman's fears.
Well, I'm sorry to say that it looks like your fears are justified.
About the extortion note?
That's right. Your son's getting that $2,000 from your lawyer certainly makes it appear that he wanted it for a payoff.
But he told us this afternoon that the note was a practical joke.
Yes, I know. That was just to alleviate our suspicion, I imagine.
Where can he be now? That's the important thing. We've no idea where he's gone.
Yes, I know. Oh, did he mention anything to your lawyer as to where he might be going?
No, he just said he was going to his club, the health club.
Have you called there?
Yes,
What did they tell you?
that he'd called in earlier in the afternoon.
What for?
To see if he'd gotten any messages.
And had he?
I didn't ask.
That could be very important, Mrs. Hanford.
Why?
He could have been contacting the club because he expected a message there.
Oh, I see.
Will you let me have the number, please? I'll phone them at once.
Frankie, he's coming too.
Yeah.
Should I get him some ice or something?
What for?
That lump on his head.
Leave him alone. He may grow a few more before we're done.
Oh, my head.
It hurts, huh?
Yeah. It feels as if... Oh, it's you.
That's right.
I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me get up.
Should you, Frankie?
Yeah, he can sit in that chair. But look, mister, don't try anything because something new has been added since you left us. This gun.
I see it.
Well, you think you're ready to talk business again now?
There's nothing to discuss.
Oh, yes, there is. We had a board of directors meeting. We decided to cut the price.
To 2,000?
No, 25,000.
Not interested.
We decided something else in that meeting.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Strategy. How to make you pay the 25 G's.
That's not possible.
Not even if we called the newspapers? Gave them the story on your marriage to Marie?
They wouldn't listen to a cheap hoodlum like you.
Now, you're forgetting I got proof. But that would take too much time. I got an even better way. That's to call your girlfriend, Christine.
I'm not listening to any of these shakedowns.
You know something, Frankie? I bet he don't think you'd have nerve enough to call her.
You think I should show him?
Yeah.
Give me that address book.
Sure. Here.
Hey, that's my address book.
Yeah, I know. I borrowed it when you passed out. Let's see. Yeah. Here it is. The number is Main 72932.
2932.
That's right. Get her on the phone.
Okay.
Wait.
Huh?
Never mind.
Call her, baby.
Hello? Oh, there's never anybody on that switchboard.
Yes?
Hello, this is Mrs. Bell.
Marie.
Oh.
Yes, Mrs. Bell?
Mrs. Bell. Do you still think you should make that call?
Hang up, stupid.
Frankie, I didn't...
Start packing.
Leaving town, folks?
Yes, on your 2 G's. But before we go, I'm making sure you keep quiet.
This is the apartment right here, Mr. Taylor.
We got a key.
Yes, sir, but like I told you, the Bells left here 5 minutes ago. They had bags with them like they were going away.
I'd still like to see the apartment, please.
Sure thing. This should do it.
Did the Bells say where they were going?
No, sir.
Do you know if they took a cab?
But they didn't say there aren't many this hour in the morning. Here we are. Go ahead, sir.
Thanks.
This furniture belongs to the house. They rented the place this way.
I see. Hey, what's that?
I don't know.
Sounds like it's coming from behind that door.
It's a closet.
Someone in there. He's locked in.
Yeah, I got a key that should fit that.
Good.
This guy in here could be the one you're looking for.
Mr. Hanford.
There. Hey, bound and gagged.
Yes. Untie that gag, will you? I'll get these ropes.
Sure thing. See the missing guy?
Yes.
There you go, mister.
Thank you.
I'll have your legs untied in a minute, Hanford.
Thanks, Mr. Taylor. Where are the Bells?
Gone.
Where to?
I was hoping you'd have the answer to that one. Yeah, that does it.
Oh, swell.
Oh, Hanford.
Yeah?
Your practical joke didn't turn out so well, did it?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor.
Whatever your problem was, you were a fool to attempt to handle it yourself.
I know that now.
Did you pay these people any money?
They forcibly took 2,000 from me.
Getaway money.
I imagine so. I guess I can kiss it goodbye. I don't imagine they'll be easy to find.
Here's something that might help.
What is it?
Let me get to a phone.
Frankie! Frankie, what are you doing?
Putting the bags in the trunk compartment.
What for?
So we'll have 'em, stupid.
Yeah, but if the car won't start, you only have to take them out again.
The car will start as soon as we get that wire connected.
When will that be?
Marie, you heard the man yourself. He said he was going up to the front of the garage to get a new wire and he'll be right back.
But he hasn't come back.
Ah.
Look, Frankie, my complaint is we've kept the car in this garage for over 2 years. We certainly deserve better service than this.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, I hear someone coming now. Well, it's about time that you got here with that... Frankie,
What is it?
come here.
Huh?
It's Mr. Hanford.
Hello there, Frankie.
How'd you get here?
Mr. Taylor, I'll let you explain that.
Found a bill from this garage in your apartment, Frankie. I called here just before you arrived. The attendant was kind enough to stall you until we could get here.
Who are you?
Special agent of the FBI.
Frank Bell and his wife Marie were both tried and convicted for extortion. They were sentenced to long terms in a federal penitentiary. And so the careers of 2 more Shakedown artists were ended by your FBI, but ended only after the potential victim had placed himself in great jeopardy by attempting to deal with the criminals himself. You wouldn't ask a plumber to pull a tooth for you, nor would you ask a dentist to fix a leaky pipe. And yet you will, you do, ask yourself to perform a job of dealing with criminals when there is at your disposal every type of law enforcement agency you need. Remember this, and do your part in curbing the crime wave. When you receive any kind of threat, notify your local police or your state law enforcement officers or your FBI. Crime is their business.
In just a moment, we will tell you about next week's exciting case from the files of your FBI. Tonight, instead of the customary closing commercial, I should like to read to you a telegram I have just received from Thomas I. Parkinson, President of the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. Mr. Parkinson has wired me, and I quote, "Today in America, many life insurance men have the right to add to their signature the letters CLU. Those 3 letters, CLU, stand for Chartered Life Underwriter. They designate a man who has taken advanced courses in the scientific adaptation of life insurance to the needs of American policyholders. Tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the founding of the American College of Life Underwriters, which awards those CLU degrees. Therefore, Milton, in my name, will you call the attention of our vast listening audience to the fine service performed by the American College of Life Underwriters during its first 2 decades, and wish this distinguished institution continued success during the years ahead. Signed, Thomas I. Parkinson, President, the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States."
Next week, we will bring you another colorful story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, The Henpecked Thief.
The incidents used in tonight's Equitable Life Assurance Society's broadcast are adapted from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. However, all names used are fictitious, and any similarity thereof to the names of persons living or dead is accidental. Tonight, the music was composed and conducted by Frederick Steiner. Your narrator was Dean Carlton. This is Your FBI is a Jerry Devine production. This is Milton Cross speaking for the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community, and inviting you to tune in again next week at this same time when the Equitable Life Assurance Society will bring you another thrilling story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, The Henpecked Thief, on This Is Your FBI. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. The Equitable Life Assurance Society presents This is Your FBI. This is Your FBI, the official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community. For the next 30 seconds, I want to talk to listeners between the ages of 35 and 45, to men and women who occasionally find themselves thinking,
will I be alive in 1975?
Well, the answer is that a good many million of you will be alive in 75. In that year, this country will have 20 million people over 65, and that's twice as many as we have today. So, as you plan your future, remember that there is a mighty good chance that you will be alive in 75.
And in exactly 15 minutes, we'll have a suggestion which will show you how life insurance with the Equitable Society can help you make the most of this long life that's ahead of you.
Tonight's FBI file, The Fugitive Pirate.
This is the year when man may finally use the secret of atomic power for peaceful purposes. When man's conquest of machines will surpass his every previous achievement in the field of invention. But while some men are delving into the scientific unknown, there are others who are still plying their same old selfish trade, benefiting no one but themselves. True, they've borrowed some of the equipment of America's technical progress for their activities, but basically they have not changed. Their motives are as primitive as the jungle. These people are criminals. Tonight's file opens in a cottage located in a sparsely settled section of the Florida coast. It is night. In the living room of this modest dwelling, we find John Douglas and his wife, Lucy.
John?
Yes, dear?
Sounds like the storm's letting up.
Yep. Should blow over before morning.
What are you doing?
I'm working on some figures, and I'm not very happy about them either.
What's wrong?
Well, Lucy, what with the weather and all, I was only able to work 10 days last month. According to my arithmetic, we only cleared enough to make the final payment on our boat.
John, that's wonderful.
I don't think so at all.
Why not?
Well, you've been skimping and saving for a year so I could buy that boat.
You needed it to make a living.
Yes, I know, but I hope by now to be able to do something for you.
Oh, John.
I want to buy you some clothes and things for the house.
You will, John. I know you will. I can wait.
Sure. Meantime...
Oh, who's that?
Let's see. Pretty late for company.
Let me in, will you?
Sure. Here. Better give you a hand.
Thanks.
Just lean on me. Yeah. Take it easy.
Oh, what's wrong with him, John?
I don't know. We'll see.
Who is he?
Never seen him before. Sit here, mister.
Yeah, okay.
He's wearing a life preserver.
Yeah. What happened to you, mister?
Our boat's a couple miles out. Hit a reef. It's been tough getting in.
Oh.
Well, Lucy, go fix him something hot to drink.
Oh, sure.
Get these wet clothes off him right away.
That same evening, at an FBI field office some 20 miles away, Special Agent Jim Taylor is seated at a typewriter just finishing a report.
Jim, have you seen Mr. Barton?
Oh, yes, Mark. He's down at police headquarters.
I found a message at home for me to report here at once. This is my night off.
It was. You've been assigned to work with me.
Something big?
Yes. Jewel robbery at one of the large estates on Bayfront Drive.
Have you been out there?
Just came back.
What's our angle?
The two men who did the job posed as FBI agents.
Oh. What are the details?
Well, a family named Claremont was giving a big party tonight.
Yeah?
Two men dressed in dinner clothes presented fake credentials. They asked to see Mrs. Claremont alone.
I see.
She took them into the library. One of the men threatened her with a gun, forced her to hand over her jewels. She was then bound and gagged, and the men ran out.
How much were the jewels worth?
Over $50,000.
When was the robbery discovered?
About 5 minutes after the men left. But by that time, the thieves had made a clean getaway. They stole a car belonging to one of the guests.
Any further word on them?
Yes, the car was just found abandoned at a dock about 3 miles from the house.
Who turned that up?
Local police.
Oh.
They also found a witness who saw two men get out of the car and into a boat alongside of the dock.
Stole a boat, too, huh?
No, the witnesses said they seemed to know their way around it. Evidently, it belonged to them.
They drove off in it?
Yes. Witness caught the name of the boat, however. It was the Sea-Maid Second.
I imagine you've already alerted the coastal authorities to be on the lookout.
That's right.
Have you got a description of the two men?
Yes, I've already put it out on the teletype.
Well, what do we do now?
Just hope that we get a quick report on that boat.
Morning.
Oh, good morning. When did you get up?
A couple minutes ago. Seen these clothes by the bed, so I put them on.
That's what they were there for. How do you feel?
Okay.
Well enough for breakfast?
Sure.
How about some eggs? I just got them right fresh from the hens.
Swell.
Sit down. I'll have something for you in a minute.
Can I watch?
Oh. If you like.
Where's the fella that was here last night?
My husband?
Is that what he is?
Yes.
Kind of old for you, ain't
He went to the store. He'll be right back.
he? I see. What do you folks do here?
My husband has a boat. He dives for sponges.
You mean he dives with one of them helmets and suits?
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
That you, John?
Yes, okay.
I'm out here in the kitchen.
How about that stranger? Is he up? Oh.
Morning.
Good morning. How you feeling?
Okay now.
Lucy cooking up some breakfast, is
Yeah.
Well, that should put you right back on top.
Sure.
Guess you'll excuse me now. I gotta get down to my boat.
Wait, I'll walk a ways with you. Have got time, man?
Go ahead.
Just holler for him, Lucy.
All right.
Go ahead.
Right. Mister?
Douglas is the name. John Douglas.
Oh. Mr. Douglas, your wife tells me you're a diver.
That's right.
Got all your equipment there in the boat?
Yep.
Then I got a proposition for you. Just listen to this.
Morning, Mark.
Oh, hello, Jim. What did you do? Stay here all night?
No, I just came in about 20 minutes ago.
Anything break?
Yes, I was just on the phone with the sheriff up at San Marino.
And?
The body of a man was found washed up on the beach there early this morning. From his description, he sounds like one of the missing jewel thieves.
Then something must have happened to the boat.
Well, according to the sheriff, that's been pretty well established.
How?
Well, there'd been quite a bit of debris washed up on the beach from last night's storm. It included a life preserver and a number of cushions on which was stenciled the name Sea-Maid Second.
How did this man die? Drowning?
That's right.
What about his companion?
Sheriff found no trace of him.
How about the boat? Any idea where it sank?
No, not so far. But the sheriff down there will get in touch with us if anything else breaks.
How we doing, Mr. Douglas?
Well, we should be getting near that reef. That is, if you remember the position right.
Look, I told you there was a buoy no more than 100 feet from where the boat sank. I heard the bell ringing.
Well, he'll soon be there then.
Okay. Think I'll go below, see if your wife will rustle me a little food.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm kind of hungry.
There's some sandwiches. Help yourself.
Okay. We'll be getting there soon. Ain't you excited?
Why?
Why? There's over $50,000 worth of jewels in that boat. The deal I made with your husband, half of that goes to him and you.
I know.
And you still ain't excited?
No.
Why not?
Something wrong with this whole thing.
I already told you I was working on a boat. There were jewels in that boat. The owner ran it on a reef and it sank. According to the laws of the sea, if we salvage the jewels, they belong to us.
What happened to the owner?
When we went down, I lost track.
I still wish we'd never agreed to come.
Okay. Got anything to drink?
There's some water in that jug.
Oh. You know something? You know what's the matter with you? You just don't like nothing. Guess that's what comes from hooking up with an old guy. You get mixed up, scared.
That's not true.
What you need, sweetheart, is a young guy.
Now, look.
Hey there. Come up on deck. We're near the boys.
Okay. See you later, honey.
Special Agent Taylor speaking.
Mr. Taylor, this is Sheriff Brewster down at San Marino.
Hello, Sheriff.
Something's turned up down here I thought you should know about.
Oh, what's that?
I got a report that a man swam ashore last night and went to the house of a resident down here named John Douglas.
Well,
Sounds like the man we're looking for.
yes. Have you contacted Douglas?
No, I just got the report. He told the story to a neighbor of his. He doesn't have a telephone, so I'm going to get out there.
Sheriff, I think I'd better come down to San Marino. I'll get a car and leave here within 10 minutes.
What's the story on your husband?
Huh?
Did he talk to you?
Yes, just a few seconds ago.
What'd he say?
He's down about 40 feet walking along the reef.
Well, did he find anything?
Yes, John?
I've located the boat.
Good.
Did he find the boat?
Yes.
Fine.
I'm on deck. Going down into the cabin now.
Right.
What's he saying? Tell me, will you?
He's going down into the cabin.
Good. He shouldn't have no trouble from now on. The jewels are in a bag right under one of the bunks. I hope he remembers that.
He will.
Want a cigarette?
No, thanks.
You don't like me much, do you?
No,
Why?
I don't trust you.
No, that ain't the real reason. You're just scared to like me.
Lucy,
Yes, John?
found the jewels. I'm coming up.
Very well.
What you saying?
He found the jewel. He's coming up.
Swell.
Start the winch.
Okay. Will it take him long to come up?
No.
Then that don't give us much time, does it?
For what?
For getting us straightened out.
Look, I think we should settle something once and for all.
Huh?
You seem to have worked out an idea that because my husband is an older man and you're young, that makes you more attractive to me. Well, you're wrong. All wrong. I love my husband very much.
No kidding.
Give him a hand. Help him over the side. Do you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll take that bag.
Let me help you with that helmet, John.
Let's see if it's all here. Yeah, real pretty.
There you are, John.
Ah, thanks.
Nice work, mister.
Oh, it wasn't hard.
You better head right in. It's getting dark.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Sorry, but we ain't going back to your place.
We ain't... What do you mean?
You just get on that wheel and go where I tell you.
Now, just a minute.
You heard me?
John, he has a gun. Your gun.
That's right. I found it in your cabin. Now kindly do like I say.
We will return in just a moment to tonight's file, which shows how your FBI helps provide security for your country. Now, let's talk briefly about security for those who want to be independent as they grow older.
Wonderful idea, Mr. Cross, but what am I going to use for money? With taxes and living costs the way they are, how are we going to save for independence 20 years from now?
Well, right now in the Equitable Society, we have thousands of members who earn considerably less than you, but they're looking forward to complete independence in their 60s through an Equitable Life Assurance Society Independent 60s plan.
I'm open-minded. How does this Independent 60s plan work?
The Independent 60s plan of the Equitable Life Assurance Society has these three features. First, it costs considerably less than you probably think, especially if you're covered by Social Security. Second, you can create your retirement estate for the full amount the moment you sign the contract. You don't spend years wondering whether or not you're going to accumulate enough money to be independent in your 60s. You're sure of it because it's guaranteed by the Equitable Life Assurance Society. Third, this Equitable plan gives you a definite goal and provides you with a practical method of reaching that goal. Yes, there's nothing finer than being independent in your 60s, being your own boss, doing the things you want to do.
Mr. Cross, this is beginning to sound pretty good to me.
Well, then I suggest you get in touch with an Equitable Life Assurance Society representative. He'll give you the facts on the Independent 60s plan and let you make up your own mind. Look in your phone book for the Equitable Society.
That's EQUITABLE.
Or send a postcard, care of this station, to the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. And now back to the FBI file, The Fugitive Pirate.
The shocking lack of decency exhibited by the criminal in tonight's case in the files of your FBI should not be as shocking as it is. For it should be understood that in order to be a criminal, you must develop a new sense of morals, a different set of rules by which you live your life. No longer are you interested in doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. No longer do you care about the poverty and hunger that attack other people. For in the mind of the criminal, there are no other people worth thinking about. The criminal lives for himself. And in his depraved mind, there are no values beyond those that serve his petty personal needs. That is why you must do whatever you possibly can to end the wave of crime. For only one set of morals can survive, yours or his. Our FBI file continues aboard John Douglas's boat. It is night. Douglas and his wife are standing by the wheel. The jewel thief is seated behind them, giving orders.
Just keep heading due south. I'll let you know when to turn into shore.
Look,
John, he has the gun. You got to do as he says.
Oh, very well. This is pretty dangerous, though, running on this dark night with no lights.
If we ain't got lights, nobody sees us. That's how I want it.
You didn't tell us the truth before, did you?
About what?
That sunken boat and the jewels?
No, I didn't.
I knew it.
What's the real story?
Well, I guess there's no harm in telling you. My brother and I stuck up a party the other night. Made a getaway in that boat, hit the reef, and sunk.
Where is your brother?
I don't know. When the boat went down, we both did the best we could, but I'm sure he made it. Bill's tough. He's real tough.
Police must be looking for you for that robbery, huh?
Sure. But they ain't looking for you. You're the best protection I got. That's why we're sticking together till I'm in the clear.
Hello, Sheriff.
Hello.
I'm Jim Taylor.
Oh, hello there, Jim. I've been waiting for you. Sit down.
Thanks.
I've got quite a bit to report.
Oh? Been out to see this man, Douglas?
Yes, but I arrived too late.
What do you mean?
Well, a neighbor told me that Douglas, his wife, and the man we're looking for, they all put out to sea in Douglas's boat early this morning.
And haven't returned yet?
No. I think I got the motive for their going, too.
Oh, what's that?
Well, Douglas is a professional diver, and he has full equipment.
I see.
Now, if the jewel thief's boat did sink, which certainly seems logical...
The thief enlisted the diver's aid to recover the jewels.
All right.
Oh, did you get a description of Douglas's boat?
Yes, I've already sent out an alarm on it.
Good. Oh, is anyone out at Douglas's house waiting for the boat's return?
Yes, I left 2 deputies out there. Oh, by the way.
Yes?
I found these pants in his cabin.
Huh?
They obviously belong to the thief.
Oh, may I see them, please?
Sure, here.
Thanks. Tuxedo pants.
There's a label in the waistband.
Oh, yes. French and Company.
They rent tuxedos.
Yes, I know. Their shop is just around the corner from our office.
Well, I've called them already. The store didn't answer, but I've got French's home phone number.
And?
Well, he was out to a movie. Wasn't expected home until midnight.
Midnight, huh? Well, let's see. It's 10:15 now.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff, this could be a valuable lead. We might find out from Mr. French who the 2 thieves were. I think I'll drive back to town.
All right, you can swing due west. Head for that light.
That's Midway Lighthouse.
That's right.
Right at the mouth of South River.
That's where we're heading.
Up South River?
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that.
Why not?
The river's dangerous enough in the daytime. I'm not running up it with no lights at night.
You just do like you're told.
Look, this boat's all we have. We don't want to lose it.
I'll guide you up the river. This is home base for me. I know it like a book.
How far up you aim to go?
About 20 miles.
20? That far up is nothing but swamp.
We stopped just before we hit the swamp. River City. That's my home.
Why can't you get off at the mouth of the river?
Because it's safer this way. I made a deal with my brother that if we got separated, we'd meet at home. I want to keep that deal.
I'm not running up there without lights.
Oh, yes, you are.
My boat means too much to me.
Stay at that wheel.
No, I ain't going to stay at... If you didn't have that gun...
Yeah, but I do have it. Now get back to the wheel.
Jim.
Yes, Mark?
Are these all the clothes that the 2 men left here at the store when they rented the tuxedos?
Yes. Let's start going over them, huh?
Right.
You take that suit, I'll take this one.
Okay. What about hats?
They didn't wear any. Didn't wear any neckties either.
Well, these suits are pretty well worn.
Oh.
And there's nothing in the jacket pockets.
No, nothing in this one either.
Oh, here's the label. It was bought at Rand Brothers here in town.
Yes, so is this one. That doesn't give us much, though. Both suits must be, 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And Rand Brothers do too big a business to remember any individual customers.
Any dry cleaning marks in yours?
No, I don't see any.
Well, let's look at the trousers.
Okay. Well, Mr. French gave me a pretty good description of the men.
Had he ever seen them before?
No, but he said they looked enough alike to be brothers.
Nothing in these pants pockets. No dry cleaning marks.
I've drawn a blank here, too. No. Here's the underwear and socks. Look for laundry marks.
Right.
Now, Mr. French did say one thing that might be important.
What's that?
Both men looked and talked as if they came from back in the swamp country.
I see.
These things must have been home laundered. There's no laundry marks.
No, I haven't got any either.
Yeah, let's take a look at the shoes.
Okay.
Here.
Thanks.
This pair was bought at a shoe store in River City.
So were these.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
That pair you have, are they mates?
Yeah.
Are both soles worn?
Yes, why?
Here, take a look at these. The sole on one of them is practically new.
Say, that's strange.
Yes. None of the witnesses said anything about either man being crippled or that they'd limp.
I know.
Mark, I've got a hunch. Let's get to a phone.
Head over there for the left bank.
It's safe to go that close to shore?
Look, I took you all the way up the river okay, didn't I? See that little dock?
Yes.
Pull alongside.
This where you live?
Yeah.
Oh, thank heaven.
Huh. Don't see no lights on in the house. Maybe I beat Bill back here.
Wrong side.
Uh-huh.
Well, get off.
Not yet.
Why?
I got something to tend to here first.
We've done as you asked. We brought you home. Now get off and leave us alone.
It ain't gonna be that easy.
What do you mean?
You both know too much.
All we know is that we want to get away from here.
Sorry, but I gotta make sure you keep quiet.
What are you talking about?
I gotta kill you.
Put down that gun.
There you are, Phillips.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed, Mr. Douglas. I'm a special agent of the FBI.
Oh.
Come on, Phillips. Come on, get on your feet.
Hey.
I don't know what brought you here, mister, but I'm sure glad you come.
Phillips himself was responsible for that.
What do you mean?
You left your clothes behind at that rental shop, Phillips. And when I examined your shoes, I saw that they'd been bought in River City. And the sole of one of them was practically new.
So what?
That meant that either you or your brother had trouble with one leg. So I contacted the doctors here in River City and gave them your description. One of the doctors remembered treating you for a broken ankle. He gave me your address. All right, Phillips. You're coming along with me.
Charles, alias Chuck Phillips, was sentenced by a federal court to serve 5 years for impersonating a federal agent. At the conclusion of this term, he will then serve a 25-year sentence imposed by local authorities for robbery and assault. The two Phillips brothers thought they had committed the perfect crime, and for a while it must have seemed to Chuck as if they had. But no crime is perfect. For somewhere in the devious machinations which produce crime, there is a clue left on some unsuspected point. Many times it is not an apparent clue. But while it is true that crime as a business has not progressed in 50 years, it is equally true that in the field of scientific investigation of crime, there has been great progress. In tonight's case, for instance, the very manner in which a shoe had been worn was the undoing of a criminal who had planned very carefully. But that small clue was turned into the criminal's capture by superior knowledge of a special agent. Superior knowledge he had received as part of his training as a member of your FBI.
In just a moment, we will tell you about next week's exciting case from the files of your FBI. A little while ago, I gave you a few brief facts about the independent 60s plan of the Equitable Life Assurance Society. To get full information, you'll want to ask your Equitable Society representative questions like these.
Exactly how much will the plan cost me?
The Equitable man has the answer.
How will it dovetail with my Social Security?
He's got the answer to that, too.
What income will it give me in my 60s?
Your Equitable Society representative will give you the exact figure. Ask him to drop around for a friendly visit. Find him in the phone book or send a postcard care of this station to the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States.
Next week, we will bring you another colorful story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, The Vicious Shakedown.
The incidents used in tonight's Equitable Life Assurance Society's broadcast are adapted from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. However, all names used are fictitious, and any similarity thereof to the names of persons living or dead is accidental. Tonight, the music was composed and conducted by Frederick Steiner. Your narrator was Dean Carlton. This is Your FBI is a Jerry Devine production. This is Milton Cross speaking for the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community, and inviting you to tune in again next week at this same time when the Equitable Life Assurance Society will bring you another thrilling story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, The Vicious Shakedown, on This is Your FBI. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. The Equitable Life Assurance Society presents This is Your FBI. This is Your FBI, the official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community. Are you between the ages of 35 and 45? Then here's a question you've probably asked yourself more than once.
Will I be alive in 1975?
Let's see now. In 1975, there will be 20 million people in the United States who have passed their 65th birthday. That's twice as many as we have today. And those 20 million will be drawn from people who are between 35 and 45 today. So the chances are very good that you will be alive in 75.
And in exactly 14 minutes, we'll have a suggestion which will show you how life insurance with the Equitable Life Assurance Society can help you make the most of this long life that's ahead of you. Tonight's FBI file, The Divorced Child.
The number one problem facing every law enforcement agency in the United States, including your FBI, is juvenile delinquency. That is a sobering fact, for from the younger generation must come the men and women who will run the nation in a few years. For that reason, it's up to everyone to do his or her share in fighting the problem. For we dare not leave the heritage of a morally corrupt generation to the world of tomorrow. It is a sad but undeniable true fact that the basic reason for the prevalence of juvenile delinquency today is the laxness of some parents. Parents who believe that it's possible to allow their children just to grow up by themselves. Nothing could be further from the truth. Tonight's FBI file opens in a residential suburb of a large Midwestern city. In a comfortable home on a quiet, tree-shaded street, Midge Morgan, age 16, is sitting in her room. Her mother enters.
Midge? Oh, hi, Mom. I thought you were going to the bridge club.
Well, I am.
Late, aren't you?
That doesn't matter. Midge.
Yeah?
There's something I want to talk to you about.
Oh, look, Mom, it is the way I left the bathroom this morning.
No, dear, this is really serious.
Oh?
It's about your father and me.
Well?
Well, this trip he's taken, he didn't go away because of business.
What do you mean?
We're getting a divorce.
Mom!
Oh, I know this is a shock to you,
Oh,
darling.
Mom, you're kidding.
No, I'm sorry to say I'm not.
Oh.
Now, dear.
Oh, you can't do it, Mommy. Don't you see? You just can't.
Now, Midge, dear, it won't be too bad. Your father and I have arranged everything in a very friendly fashion.
Oh,
no! We knew you had to be considered, too. So we agreed that we would share you.
What does that mean?
Why, you'll live with him 6 months of the year and me 6 months.
I want to live with both of you together.
But, darling, that's impossible.
Why?
Because your father and I are finished.
Oh, Mommy, isn't there anything I could do?
No, dear.
If you've had a quarrel or something, I could patch it up. Honest, I could.
Oh, it's beyond that, darling.
Oh, please, Mom.
Now, please, dear, don't carry on like that. You're only upsetting me. Midge, look. Maybe after a while you'll have a new daddy.
What?
Yes, someone who'll take care of us both a lot better than your father has.
You mean you already have someone else in mind? Mommy, have you?
Well, yes.
Oh, no.
Now, he's a very nice man, dear.
I
I'm
don't
sure
want to
you...
hear anymore.
Midge, where are you going?
Getting out of Midge! Midge!
Hey, what's the matter with this jukebox?
Busted.
Oh.
I can sing for you, Taffy.
Drop dead, will ya? Hi there, Midge. Oh, hello, Taffy. You got a private booth here? No, sit down. Okay. Would you like some of my Coke? No, thanks. I just had two frosted. Hey, is something the matter with you? Why? I've been watching you for the last 10 minutes. You look really down, girl. I am. Well, now just put your head on Aunt Taffy's shoulder and tell all. What is it, sugar?
Oh, Taffy, I'm just miserable.
Man trouble?
Oh, no, it's my mother and father.
What about them?
They're getting a divorce.
Is that all that's bothering you?
Oh, Taffy, it's horrible.
Oh, Midge, you're so provincial.
Huh?
It happens to everybody.
Oh, no, Taffy.
Honey, my father and mother have been divorced for over 2 years.
They have?
Sure. When it first happened, I felt just like you do.
Really?
Yeah. And then one day I figured out something. I figured if they could divorce each other, I had a perfect right to divorce them. And that solved everything.
What do you mean?
Well, from then on, I've lived my own life, and nobody's bothered me.
But what about your mother?
She's so busy going out all the time, she doesn't know what I'm doing.
Gee.
Mitch, believe me, you should do the same thing.
How?
Look, what are you doing tonight?
I don't know. I'm not going home, that's one sure thing.
Perfect. Let me get you a date.
Who with?
Oh, none of these squares around here. I know some older fellas, very sophisticated types. Would you like to meet them?
Sure. Why not?
Swell.
Oh, but I'm not dressed for a date.
Oh, you can wear something of mine. Finish your Coke and we'll go over to my house and call them up.
Taffy, do you see them?
No, but they're in the club here someplace.
Gee, what a mob.
Oh, there they are. Frankie! Hey, Frankie! Shall we go over there? Are you kidding? Make them come to us.
He sees you.
Uh-huh. And he's coming, too.
Which is my date?
The tallest one.
He's cute.
Hi, honey.
Hiya, Frankie.
Hello, Taff.
Oh, hi, Andy. I want you both to meet a girlfriend of mine, Midge Morgan. This is Frank Shelton and Andy Bristol. How do you do?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Well, how's about we sit down and go against a couple of beers?
You got a table?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, look, well, we're going to powder our noses. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Come on, Midge. Will you excuse us, please?
Huh? Oh, sure.
Oh, order us a couple of beers anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, Andy, what do you think?
My date?
Yeah.
Not bad. Looks a little square, though.
Look, if she's a friend of Taffy, she's okay.
What'll we do with him?
Well, we'll stay here a while and make the rounds.
We ain't got no car.
Don't worry, we will have. In fact, I can take care of that right now.
What do you mean?
Steal one.
Oh. What about the dames?
You stay here, feed him some beer. And I'll pick up a heap and be back in an hour.
In the nearby city at police headquarters, FBI Special Agent Jim Taylor is seated with an old friend, Detective Sergeant Bill Collins.
This is a kind of a dirty trick to play on you, Jim.
What do you mean?
Well, you're supposed to be having a night off, so you wind up sitting around here listening to my troubles.
I'm glad to do it, Bill. You know that. Now, let's have your story, huh?
Well, as you know, my sole assignment for the past few months has been juvenile delinquency.
Yes.
It's a full-time job, believe me.
I'm sure it is.
One element I've come across has an FBI angle.
Oh, what is it, though?
Stolen cars.
Hmm?
2 of them were picked up here in the city this morning. They'd been stolen in the suburbs and taken across the state line.
Stolen by youngsters?
Well, it appears that way.
Were they apprehended?
No, but I'm sure kids did the job.
Why?
Well, for one thing, they weren't stolen for profit. They'd been used overnight and then abandoned.
Oh, I see.
And in both cars, the upholstery had been slashed, clocks broken, acts of pure vandalism, typical of misguided kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did the local police where the cars were stolen have any leads on the car thieves?
No.
Bill, have you had your dinner yet?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. So let's go get something to eat, huh? We can talk this thing over and figure out how to proceed.
Midge,
Yes, Andy?
how about another beer?
Well, yes.
Swell. How about you, Taff?
Huh?
How about another beer?
I want something stronger than beer. What's more, I want another date.
Look, Frankie will be here.
You've been saying that for the last hour. Oh, Taffy, you're being a bad sport. What? We're supposed to be having fun. That's what you told me. Remember? Some fun, sitting here and watching
Hey, there
you
he is
get...
now.
Well, it's about time.
Hiya, kids.
Hi, where have you been? You've got some nerve.
Relax, sweetheart. I've been out getting us some transportation.
Want a beer, Frankie?
No, not here. Let's go someplace where there's real action.
Oh, wonderful. I've got a good mind to go home.
Look, Taffy, I don't want no trouble with you. You understand? Andy, you paid up here?
Yeah.
All right, then let's go.
Come on, Taffy. Oh, okay.
Where are we going?
We'll hit the river club first.
Oh, Taffy, I'm having such a wonderful time. No more worry? Oh, I should say not.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Where's the car?
Right over there.
That big convertible?
Yep.
Oh, nice going.
What are we riding in?
This little job right here.
Frankie. Gee, that's snazzy. Where did you get that?
Stole it.
Oh, it's a comedian.
All right. Pile in, gals.
Hello?
Hello, Jim. This is Bill Collins.
Oh, hello, Bill.
I'm sorry to bother you at home, Jim, but I just came back here to headquarters. I found a report I thought I should pass on to you.
Oh, what is it?
It came from out in Blackton. A car was stolen out there about an hour ago.
Go on.
It belonged to a Dr. Brown. He stopped at a patient's house, and while he was inside, his car was taken.
I see.
He saw the thief from a window. He described him as being about 18 years old.
Bill, was the thief alone?
Yes. The doctor attempted to follow him in his patient's car, but he lost him right after he crossed the state line.
No. Was he heading in here to town?
Well, it appeared that way, yes.
Bill, has an alarm been sent out?
Yes, we've alerted all local police, given them a complete description of the car.
You say you're at headquarters, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be right over.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Richard, why don't you open the door? That's so funny. Everything's so funny. Hey, Frankie, where are we going?
Around the corner.
I love going around corners. Now where are we going?
Where do you want to go?
Well, I don't want to go home.
Well, it's 4 a.m., kid. Everything's closed.
Hey, I know a place that's never closed.
Where?
New York.
Oh, silly.
What do you mean, silly? What's wrong with New York?
It's 1,000 miles away.
What's wrong with that?
He's right. Let's go to New York.
Hey, do you mean that, Taffy?
Sure. Let's go right now.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute, Frankie. Important detail department. Money.
We'll get money.
Whee! We're going to New York. Oh, honest, Taffy, are we really going? Sure. Oh, wonderful. What are you slowing down for?
Pull into this gas station.
Oh, you know, that is very smart of him, Taffy. Huh? If we're going to New York, we have to have gas.
Is it open, Frankie?
Yeah, this is an all-night place.
Come out, wherever you are.
There's the guy.
Yes, what can I do for you?
First, I want you to check the right front tire.
Okay. Yeah, looks okay to me.
Frankie,
Shut up.
Search him first, Frankie. He may have a stow on him.
That's what I'm doing.
what is this? What's happening?
Shut up.
But he hit him on the head.
We gotta get to New York, don't we?
Midge, let the boys do it their way. But I don't like this. I'm getting out.
Here's a
Midge,
stow,
let me
real
borrow,
good
please,
roll,
Taffy.
too. Wait a minute. Where are you going?
I'm getting out.
Get back in here.
But I don't want to.
Get back, I said. Now, let's get out of here.
We will return in just a moment to tonight's file, which shows how your FBI helps provide security for your country. Now, let's talk briefly about another kind of security. Security for those who want to be independent as they grow older.
Well, that's easier said than done, Mr. Cross. Frankly, I haven't saved a cent since prices and taxes started going up, so when you talk about independence 20 or 30 years from now, you're just not talking my language.
But I am. Right now, in the Equitable Society are thousands of men who once had your viewpoint. But now they're looking forward to complete independence in their 60s through an Equitable Life Assurance Society Independent 60s plan.
Independent 60s, you say? All right. How does this plan work?
The Independent 60s plan of the Equitable Life Assurance Society has these three features. First, it costs considerably less than you probably think, especially if you're covered by Social Security. Second, you can create your retirement estate for the full amount the moment you sign the contract. You don't spend years wondering whether or not you're going to accumulate enough money to be independent in your 60s. You're sure of it because it's guaranteed by the Equitable Life Assurance Society. Third, this Equitable plan gives you a definite goal and provides you with a practical method for reaching that goal. Yes, there's nothing finer than being independent in your 60s, being your own boss, able to do the things you want to do.
Boy, I'd sure like to hear more about this.
Well, then I suggest you get in touch with an Equitable Life Assurance Society representative. He'll give you the facts on the Independent 60s plan and let you make up your own mind. Look in the phone book for the Equitable Society.
That's EQUITABLE.
Or send a postcard care of this station to the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. And now, back to the FBI file, The Divorced Child.
In a statement to the listeners of this program a few weeks ago, Mr. J. Edgar Hoover, director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, said that one prevalent reason for delinquent children is delinquent parents. Tonight's case from the files of your FBI is ample proof of that fact. Do you know the friends of your children? Do you know where your children are going when they leave the house? Do you know how your children are getting along at school? Those are questions that you who are parents should be asking yourselves. For the danger is not in the child who is occupied in healthy endeavor, but the future juvenile delinquent is the child who has too much unsupervised time on his hands. There are various agencies like schools and local youth organizations which can help you guide your child, but they can only do just so much. They cannot do a complete job because there is no substitute for parents. Tonight's file continues at the gas station. An hour has passed since the holdup. The attendant has regained consciousness and is being interviewed by Detective Sergeant Collins and Special Agent Jim Taylor.
You say that the car was a gray convertible.
Yes, that's right.
Were you able to get the license number?
No, everything happened so quickly, by the time they pulled away, I was unconscious.
I'm certain it's the doctor's car, Jim.
Yes, Sergeant, it must be.
Can you describe the young man who assaulted you?
Well, I'd say he was around 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah?
He had dark hair, was about my size, and wore a sport coat.
Can you think of anything else about him?
No.
Who else was in the car?
2 girls and another fellow.
Could you describe them?
No, sir, I'm afraid I couldn't. Oh, excuse me, please.
Oh, certainly. Go ahead. Bill, where's that girl's scarf?
I have it right here.
The attendant says he found it by the gas pump. Huh?
That's right.
It could have belonged to one of the girls in that car.
Oh,
Yeah?
Yes, he's right here. Sergeant Collins.
Yeah?
This call is for you.
No, thank you.
How's your head feel?
Yeah?
Well, not too bad.
You had a doctor look at it yet?
Yes, an ambulance is here. I'm going to drop by at the hospital for an x-ray later.
Oh, good. Now, this scarf that you found, do you think it was dropped by someone in that car?
Yes, I'm sure it was. I just cleaned up around here 10 minutes before they came.
Right, Tom.
How much money did they get from you?
Over $300.
Jim?
Yes, Bill.
That was headquarters. The stolen car was just found abandoned out on Route 30.
No trace of the occupants?
Not yet. They're going over the car now for fingerprints.
Bill, what time do the laundries open in this town?
About 8 o'clock, I believe. Why?
Well, there's a laundry mark on this girl's scarf. We could do a quick check with the laundries, and we should be able to learn the identity of the owner.
Oh. Good morning. Huh? I said good morning, Midge.
Oh, Taffy.
That's right.
Oh, Taffy, my head. It hurts so. Oh, I feel awful.
That figures.
Why?
Honey child, you have what is known as a hangover.
Hangover?
Darling, you weren't drinking milk.
Oh, where are we?
In a tourist cabin.
What? Well, how did we get here?
We came here last night, remember?
Last night?
Yes.
Oh, now I do remember. The gas station, that man the boys robbed.
Quiet.
Oh, that was terrible, Taffy.
Will you shut up?
Oh. Where are they?
Andy and Frank?
Yes.
They dropped us off here, then they went out to dump the car.
Oh, thank heavens.
What do you mean?
We're rid of them.
Rid of them? They're coming back here for us.
They're what?
Look, we're all going to New York, remember?
Oh, no, Taffy.
The boys are picking up another car.
And you want to go with them?
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't. Taffy, I want to go home.
To your mother?
Yes.
I thought you couldn't put up with her getting divorced.
Anything is better than this. I'm not going with you.
Look, honey, you haven't got much choice.
What do you mean?
We were all in that stick-up last night.
But I didn't want any part of it. I even tried to get out of the car, don't you remember?
Oh, that makes no difference. You're in just as much trouble as the boys are.
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, look, Midge. Everything's awful because you've got a hangover. There's a lunch wagon across the highway. We'll go over there and get some breakfast. I'll guarantee you that after you've eaten something, you'll feel altogether different.
Just a minute. Yes,
Mrs. Morgan?
that's right.
My name is Taylor. I'm a special agent of the FBI.
FBI.
Yes, that's right. Here are my credentials.
I see.
May I come in, please?
Well, yes, of course.
Mrs. Morgan, I've come here to talk to you about your daughter.
You know where Midge is. You found her.
She isn't here?
No, she didn't come home all night. Just 10 minutes ago, she called, and she was crying. She said she was in trouble, and she was going to New York. But before I could question her any further, she hung up.
Did she say where she was?
No. Why are you here?
Well, I'm sorry to say I have reason to believe that your daughter was involved in a gas station holdup at about 4 o'clock this morning.
That can't be.
Do you recognize this scarf?
Yes, it belongs to Midge.
It was found at the scene of the holdup. One of the girls in the car dropped it.
But Midge couldn't be involved in anything like that.
You just said that she hadn't been home all night.
Yes, but this is the first time it ever happened. Midge is a good girl. She never stays out. She wouldn't have last night if... Well, yesterday afternoon, I had to tell Midge that her father and I were getting a divorce. It was a terrible shock to her, and she ran out of the house, and that's the last time I saw her.
I see.
Oh, dear. If she's fallen in with bad company and gotten into trouble, then it could even be my fault.
Yes. I'm quite sure that it could, Mrs. Morgan.
What can be done? How can I find her?
Now, you say she called approximately 10 minutes ago?
Yes.
Have you received any calls since then?
No.
Well, it's possible that the phone company will cooperate with us in helping to trace that call.
Oh, I hope so.
I'll get to work on it at once.
Collins speaking.
Hello, Bill. Jim Taylor.
Yes, Jim.
I just interviewed the Morgan girl's mother.
Yes?
She called home about 10 minutes before I got there. I traced the call. It came from a diner out on Route 28.
I see.
I'll give you the location. Meet me out there.
Any luck, Jim?
I just talked to the manager of the diner.
Did he have any information?
No, he just went on duty. His night man went home about an hour ago.
And he's the man to see?
That's right.
Did you get his address?
Yes, I have it right here. Let's go. Well, I talked to the counterman.
What's the story?
I described the Morgan girl to him. He remembers her all right. She came in with another girl.
Now, what about the two young men?
No sign of them.
Did he notice if they drove up?
No, he said they came on foot. And I have a hunch that tells us where to find them.
Frankie, you gonna leave the car right here?
Sure, we'll be pulling right out. Let's go in and get the gal.
Okay. I hope they aren't disappointed about this heap.
Why should they be?
Well, it ain't got the class the other one had.
It'll get us to New York just as good. Go ahead.
Right.
Hi, kids.
Oh. Hiya, Frankie. Andy?
Hi.
What's the matter with her?
She's just got a hangover.
That isn't it at all, Taffy.
What is it?
I don't want to go to New York.
What's got into you?
I want to go home.
Now, don't go starting that again. I already told you why you couldn't.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, come on, Mitch.
I'm not going.
Now, look.
We ain't leaving you here.
I'm not going, I said.
What'll we do, Frankie?
She's coming if we have to drag her out. Now get up.
No.
Get up.
Let go of me.
Stop your yelling.
Hey, Frankie, none of that.
You keep out of this.
Stop pushing her around.
Look, I'll give it to both of you.
Lay off of that, son.
Who are you?
I'm a special agent of the FBI.
FBI?
I'll handle him, Jim.
Good.
Come on, you. Come on, you too, young lady.
Oh, thank heaven you're here.
Are you the Morgan girl?
Yes, how did you find us?
Well, I traced your call to the diner across the highway. When I heard you'd come in there on foot, I knew you were somewhere in this neighborhood. Then I remembered this tourist camp.
Oh.
All right, Miss Morgan. Let's get out of here.
Frankie Shelton and Andy Bristol were sent to a reformatory. They will remain there until they are 21 years old. Their companion, Taffy, was placed on probation for 5 years. Midge Morgan had no charges placed against her. And thus your FBI and the local police help straighten out another delinquency problem. If your child is headed for trouble, he might be as fortunate as Midge Morgan, and he might escape with only official censure. But that would be a foolhardy gamble to take, for not many juvenile delinquents are that fortunate. Your FBI sincerely trusts that you will not depend on the chance that your child will be rescued from trouble before that trouble develops, and will be given a second chance. Be a good parent, and help your child grow up so he'll never need a second chance. In just a moment, we will tell you about next week's exciting case from the files of your FBI. A little while ago, I gave you a few brief facts about the Independent 60s plan of the Equitable Life Assurance Society. To get full information, you'll want to ask your Equitable Society representative questions like these.
Exactly how much will the plan cost me?
The Equitable man has the answer.
How will it dovetail with my Social Security?
He's got the answer to that, too.
What income will it give me in my 60s?
Your Equitable Society representative will give you the exact figure. Ask him to drop around for a friendly visit. Find him in the phone book or send a postcard care to this station to the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States. Next week, we will bring you another colorful story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Fugitive Pirate. The incidents used in tonight's Equitable Life Assurance Society's broadcast are adapted from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. However, all names used are fictitious, and any similarity thereof to the names of persons living or dead is accidental. Tonight, the music was composed and conducted by Frederick Steiner. Your narrator was Dean Carlton. This is Your FBI is a Jerry Devine production. This is Milton Cross speaking for the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community, and inviting you to tune in again next week at this same time when the Equitable Life Assurance Society will bring you another thrilling story from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, The Fugitive Pirate, on This is Your FBI. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.